Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next installment of my Battle of D, and today I'm here with the Browns. So first of all, if my voice sounds a little bit croaky, I have had a cold for the last couple of days, which is why I haven't been filming, and I find it really hard to speak. So if I speak a bit quieter or just a bit more hoarse, you know why. But we're gonna jump into the lipsticks, and the first one I have is right here, and this one is one of the Revlon lip butters in the shade Pink Truffle. So this is definitely the more wearable out of all the browns that I own. It's the typical lip butter formula, very kind of buildable and very moisturizing. I really like this shade, and this was a shade that I didn't really enjoy that much when I was younger or when I first picked these up. But I have grown to love it quite a lot, and it's one that I reach for all the time actually. So Pink Truffle is definitely more of a warm tone brown rather than a cool tone brown, and I feel like this is, like I said, quite wearable. If you're ever hesitant with browns, I definitely think this is one to go for. It's super flattering, and I feel like this goes with quite a lot of different looks. The formula of these are very moisturizing, and I really quite enjoy that. And yeah, overall it's just a beautiful lipstick. And to show you, that is Pink Truffle swatched out of my hand. So the next one up we have is one of my matte lipsticks, and this is one of their matte lipsticks in the shade Velvet Teddy. So this lipstick is definitely a classic. I feel like everyone heard of Velvet Teddy. This is one of MAC's matte formulas, but it's still quite wearable and it's not drying at all. If you compare it to MAC's retro matte formula, it's definitely more wearable and it's not completely matte. It's definitely a formula that I really enjoy, and it's one of my favorite formulas from MAC because of that reason, because it gives quite an impactful lip, but it's not drying at all. So Velvet Teddy is still kind of a warmer tone brown, and it's still quite wearable, but this one is definitely more cool tone than the previous one. I think actually if you look at this just by itself, it looks quite cool toned, but it definitely has some warmth to it, and I definitely feel like that comes out when you swatch it next to some other browns in my collection. This lipstick is a classic for a reason. It's beautiful and I definitely really enjoy it. Again, it is kind of more of a wearable brown, so I think that's why it's so popular. And there you have Velvet Teddy. So as you can see, it's quite similar in tone. It's a little bit more cool tone than the previous one though, but that is those two lipsticks compared. So those are going to be the two first lipsticks that I decided what to do with, and although they are quite similar in tone, they're very different formulas and they perform very differently. Because of that reason, I have decided to keep both of them. Next up we have one of my Maybelline matte lipsticks, and this is in the shade Nude Nuance. So if you compare this to the previous lipsticks, it's still kind of in the same color family. I would say if anything this is more kind of mauve. It's definitely not mauve by any means, but it leans towards that direction, if that makes sense. And it's also a bit darker. This formula is actually quite similar to the MAC formula, that it is quite matte, but it's not drying at all. I really enjoy these lipsticks. They are getting quite old in my collection though, but this is definitely one of my favorite lipsticks from this range that I own. This shade is again quite a wearable brown, and I really enjoy wearing this. I feel like this is one that I reach for more in the fall and winter time because of the depth of it, but I definitely see myself wear this in summer and things like that as well with a tan. And I don't think that this is a seasonal brown by any means, and it's something that I would reach for all year round, but I see how some people think this is too intense for the warmer months. And there you have the Maybelline lipstick swatched out of my hand. So next up we have one of my Colourpop Matte X lipsticks, and this is in the shade Daydream. So this is quite similar to the last lipstick, and it's slightly more kind of mauve tone like I talked about, and it's a little bit deeper as well. This is definitely something that I would say is more of my type of fall tan brown, because it is deeper but it also has more of a mauve undertone like I mentioned, so I think it looks better with me when I have a pale complexion. So that's why this is something that I reach for more in winter time, but it's a stunning lipstick and it's beautiful, and it's one of my favorite browns, and it is quite intense, so I know that if I reach for this in winter it's going to look stunning. And there you have the Daydream lipstick swatched out on my hand. So the next lipstick I have is another one of my Colourpop lipsticks, and this is again one of the Matte X formulas, and the shade is Capiche. So this one again is quite similar to the last two lipsticks. I actually feel like this is more similar to the Maybelline lipstick than Daydream is, because this one doesn't lean as mauve as the previous one, and again it kind of has the same depth as Daydream, but it's still kind of the same tone as the Maybelline lipstick. So again I reached for it in kind of similar manners, and again I feel like this would probably look better in summer than Daydream because it has some more warmth to it, but because of the depth of it I definitely reach for it more in winter time. You all know that I love the Matte X formula from Colourpop, so I'm not going to ramble on about that for too long, but again it's a stunning lipstick and I absolutely love it. And there you have a Capiche swatched out on my hand. These three are the next comparison I'm going to go through, and I'm umming what I want to do with these. And initially I felt like I wanted to declutter the Maybelline lipstick, and I still kind of feel like I may want to do that, but I feel like Capiche is the one that is kind of in between the other two, so now I'm leaning more towards this one. But I do love this formula and it is new in my collection compared to the Maybelline one. And one of the reasons why I was leaning to declutter the Maybelline lipstick is because it is quite old. I purchased it when I was living in the States, which was back in 2016, so it's about 3.5 years old. It's quite old in lipsticks terms, and I know that it's something that will go back quite soon. But then again, I'm feeling that maybe I want to pan that this year, so I am quite torn on what I want to do. I feel like I should declutter something, but honestly I don't have too many brown lipsticks, and I feel like I'm gonna force myself to declutter something rather than panning, which I love doing. And I feel like I could pan one of these three, perhaps the Capiche lipstick or the Maybelline one, and I feel like if I do that I will be quite happy where this is sitting right now, so I don't think I will be decluttering any of these actually, and I will try to pan one of them, most likely the Maybelline lipstick because of the age, or the shade Capiche from Colourpop. So instead let's move on to the next lipstick, and that is Whirl from MAC. So Whirl is one of MAC's matte formulas, and it is again actually quite similar to the other ones. I could have included that in the swatch comparison. I felt like this was leaning more kind of grey tone than the previous ones, but swatching them next to each other on my hand I don't think they are. It's quite similar actually to the Maybelline lipstick now when I swatched them out. So I would say that if anything the Maybelline lipstick is more kind of warm toned than Whirl, but they are actually really similar. So actually when swatching this I may actually feel like I'm gonna declutter the Maybelline lipstick anyway because they're so similar, and I'm gonna show you that now. So hopefully you can see there that that is the lipstick comparison, and although they're not exact, I feel like they are really similar, and I feel like now I don't feel the need to keep the Maybelline lipstick, and what I think I will do instead is I will actually declutter the Maybelline lipstick, and then throughout the year I'm gonna try to pan Capiche probably, because that means that I'm actually moving two brown lipsticks out of my collection from this kind of group in the next year or so. That's gonna be my goal. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm gonna keep MAC Whirl, and I'm gonna declutter the Maybelline lipstick in Nude Nuance. So moving on to the next one, we have one of my Colourpop Matte X lipsticks again. Actually the remaining ones are gonna be this formula, and this is in the shade Ziggy. So Ziggy is definitely different than the previous ones, so no mix up with the colors here, because Ziggy is quite an orangey or warm tone brown, and I don't really think I have anything else like it. The next one up is also quite warm toned, so maybe they are similar. Ziggy for me is definitely a fall brown because of the color of it. It really reminds me of autumn leaves, and again it's quite a unique brown. I don't see this brown that often because it is orangey, but it's not completely orange, and it doesn't look like a burnt orange, it still looks like a brown, and it's absolutely stunning, and I love wearing this, and again especially in fall time. It's just such a stunning lipstick, and it's quite new to my collection, but since I purchased this I absolutely love this, and yeah, I'm so happy to have this in my collection. So the one that I thought that it would be similar to is the next one, which is Hollywood Boulevard. Instantly when swatching them they are very different. I know this is gonna sound quite bad, but this is more like of a poo brown. It has some yellow to it, so it almost looks like greenish, and it's such a unique color. I feel like this is definitely something that you don't see. I know I said that about Siggy, but this one even more. It's such a unique color and I'm so happy that I have it in my collection. It's one that I've already used quite a lot of and I reach for this all the time. I feel like this is very grungy and it's such a cool look. But again, this is more of a fall kind of brown for me. I wouldn't really reach for it at all in spring or summer because it's such a grungy shade. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning and I just think it's such a cool shade. And I do think they have discontinued this, which is a shame because I haven't seen this shade anywhere else. But I'm happy to have it in my collection and I absolutely love this. Then the final shade that we have is the shade Pillow Talk, again from Colourpop. This is again quite a unique brown. It's definitely more of a kind of grey brown. Again, it is such a unique color and I haven't really seen this anywhere else. These two lipsticks are definitely some of the best ones that I picked up because they are so unique. But this one, yeah, it still has that kind of yellow tone to it, but it's not as greenish. And instead it is quite cool toned. It is again such a cool shade and it's a little bit lighter, so I would kind of reach for this more all year round, but again I think it looks best in fall and winter time. This is again a shade that I believe they have discontinued, which is such a shame because I absolutely love it, and again I have used quite a bit of this color already. But that is the final lipsticks. Let me show you the swatches. So I'm not sure if I actually showed you the swatches on my hand, but that is Siggy right there, we have Hollywood Boulevard, and then lastly Pillow Talk. So as you can see, they are all quite different, and comparing to the rest, they are very, very different. So when it comes to these, I don't really feel like I want to declutter any of them, which means that I only decluttered one of these lipsticks, which is the Maybelline lipstick right here in the shade Nude Neons. So those two guys was all the brown lipsticks in my collection, and I already feel like this collection is quite kind of narrowed down, so I'm happy that I actually managed to declutter one of them, which means that I decluttered 1 out of 9, which is slightly more than 10%, maybe it's like 11, 11.5, 12%, not really sure, I'm just guessing, but that is what I decluttered. I'm now down to 8 brown lipsticks, and hopefully by panning one of them, which is most likely gonna be Capiche, I'm gonna be down to 7, which is really, really good. So I'm very, very happy about this kind of collection, although I only decluttered 1, but yeah, I think I did quite well. But that, you guys, was all for this video. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. I know that these videos aren't the most popular on my channel, but I really don't mind that because I love filming them and I love narrowing down my lipstick collection because I have way too many lipsticks. But hopefully once I'm done with this series, I will have a really, really curated lipstick collection which I will enjoy every shade in. But if you did like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. And otherwise, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.